Morning people, welcome back to F Politics. Samir, aka Sam Zitouni, was one of the heroes during the attack on the Huntingdon train in Cambridgeshire. He was called as much by the local police, who also said that he saved several lives. He's currently in critical condition in hospital because he stepped in to save people while two men were attacking people with knives. That is the definition of a hero. And this is just a regular guy. He'd worked for the LNER train service for many years as a customer service employee, but he was born in Algeria. This man, this hero, is an immigrant, which makes the discussion that you've seen around this issue, especially from politicians on the right, all the more disgusting. For example, on the morning after the attack, while the victims and the heroes were still fighting for their lives in hospital, the chair of the Reform Party, Zia Youssef, went on to BBC News and said this.
What is clear is that far too often, people who should never have been in the country at all are committing violent crime, who are committing sexual crime, who are committing murders. And there is the correct number of people doing such a thing is zero, Laura. We must secure our borders. We must retain our sovereignty.
And it's important, though, to say to people at this point, we've got no reason to believe anything about the nature of these attackers. We simply don't know, and linking them.
But we do know the details of the one a few days ago.
Matt Goodwin, another spokesperson for the Reform Party, also said that he blamed this on uncontrolled immigration. And he said this after the police had already put out a statement saying that the two attackers were both born in the UK, they just happened to be black. And let's be 100% clear on this, if you blame the crimes of ethnic minorities on immigration, that is by definition racist because they were born here. The only possible interpretation of blaming this on immigration is because you're pointing to their ethnic origin. And again, this is a guy who has spoken on stage at the Reform Party conference. He is part of that party at a high level. And when challenged on the racism he was spouting, he said that, well, the 7/7 bombers had British passports too, but that doesn't make them British. That is a spokesperson for Reform UK saying that in order to be British, you have to be white. This just a couple of weeks after Sarah Pochin, the Reform MP, said it makes her mad when she sees adverts full of black and brown people. So like I said, while the victims and the heroes were fighting for their lives in hospital, the Reform Party was taking advantage of this tragedy to weaponize it in the name of racism. Worse still, blaming this attack on immigration and people who shouldn't be here in the first place, when the hero, the person who actually saved lives, was an immigrant. It brings whole new levels to the fact that the Reform Party is a genuine threat to our national security. Not just because their misinformation around immigration spurred on the riots last summer, and then they championed the people who incited those riots by standing on stage with people like Lucy Connolly, making the Reform Party complicit in the most widespread crisis of terror the UK has seen in decades. But now we have a story where British-born people were attacking innocent civilians on a train, and an immigrant stepped in to save many lives, and they're still using this story to attack immigration. Our country would be so much safer with more Sam Zitounis and fewer Nigel Farages. I'm Femi. Make sure you follow F Politics so Politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.